Have you ever found yourself living the irresponsible life, but deep down feeling like it's quietly suffocating you? There's a reason that this happens, and it might not be what you think. I want to share with you a very short story about somebody who you've probably heard of who found himself stuck in a very safe corporate career, all the while having it quietly drain something essential out of him. When David Whyte left college, he thought he was going to be a marine biologist. He made this bold move and he went to the Galapagos Islands, thinking that this was going to be his life. But once he got there, he realized that as adventurous and as meaningful as that path sounded, it wasn't actually his. So he did what many of us do when the dream doesn't pan out. He adjusted. He became practical. Eventually, David Whyte, like so many people, found himself in a corporate career. The kind of job that makes sense to other people. From the outside, nobody would have guessed that something was wrong. But on the inside, something within him was slowly being compressed. During this time, he was writing poetry, but quietly, almost secretly, because it felt like oxygen. And here's where this really gets interesting to me. David Whyte's ability as a poet was undeniable, and his love for poetry was deep. But becoming a full-time poet, I mean, if there was ever a path that the world will tell you will not pay the bills, that is the quintessential one. It's the kind of thing that people will respond to you with a line like, "Come on, be practical." So for a long time, David Whyte split himself into two. He kept that part of himself on the side. He stayed sensible. He stayed responsible. But as I've seen in myself, and as I've seen in the people I work with, compromising yourself in order to live a life that isn't true to you always takes a toll. Sometimes it shows up dramatically, but more often it's quieter. Restlessness, numbness, exhaustion, a low-grade grief that sounds like, is this really my life? One day, David Whyte was with a close friend, and that friend gently but firmly pushed him to take the leap of faith. That conversation made it possible for David Whyte to make a decision that the world would judge as impractical, maybe even irresponsible. He left his job to pursue his poetry full time. He chose truth over security. What moves me the most about this story is how real it is. So many of the people who I've worked with over the years come to me with this exact tension. My life isn't fulfilling me. How do I get from where I am to a life that feels truly aligned? How do I know that things are going to work out? I mean, it shows up with careers, with relationships, it shows up with where people live. And at the core of it is the same fundamental question. How do I honor my responsibilities while also responding to what is actually alive inside of me? It's not an easy situation. It's not supposed to be either. Things worked out beautifully for David Whyte, but the transition wasn't easy even for him. He and his wife had to scale back. They had to make real sacrifices. He even tells a story about being invited to give a poetry reading early on and getting violently sick the night before. A panic response right at the moment when he was about to be seen fully in this new life. He almost backed out at the exact moment that he was breaking through. I've seen the same exact moment in the people that I work with. I have faced versions of it myself. But as I see it, is there really another way? Because choosing the path that violates your own soul might look safer on the surface, but it is the one that quietly costs you your real life. So here's the question that I want to leave you with. Where in your life might being responsible actually be code for doing what feels safe and familiar? And what part of you has been quietly waiting for permission to do what makes you feel fully alive? If you feel drawn to stories of awakening and transformation, you may enjoy my audio documentary, Spiritual Wayfinders. I will leave a link to that in the description in case you're interested. And if this video resonated with you, feel free to leave me a comment or subscribe for more reflections like this on breakthroughs and awakening. Peace and love.